Hello gaming world of YouTube. Today we're going to do something that I've been planning for quite a while on the Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Because of simply that, well, I haven't had a lot of time to record lately because of stuff in terms of family stuff, and then being able to just kind of, get out of bed and whatnot. It's during the day is ironically when I have the most time to record. But here we've got this car in front of me, and I'm sure you've probably seen this in previous videos, except that this is not the same car, I promise you, that I did my first, that I had in my first Junk That Runs video. That is my most popular video at the moment. The reason for that is because the files were recognized by my antivirus software and got booted off the PC pretty quickly, which is really irritating because apparently Playway does not sign properly for their games, which means that antivirus does not like them. Note to viewers, if you get this game and you have AVG, it does not like it. But this car is way too nice for me. It is way too nice. So what I was planning to do, because this is supposed to be kind of that whole Junk That Runs type deal, because I based the series as a virtual video game version of what they do on the show Roadkill. What I figured is we would do stuff where we take junk and we make it run. Well, the problem is, and the reason that the series has had to change real quick is because, basically, to get the junk to run, it was pull off the ignition stuff, replace some spark plugs, the fuel filter, the starter, and that was literally it. So we're actually going to start doing some more complex things in the hope that even if with repetition, it'll still be a little bit more interesting than just replacing a couple key ignition points. And that's what I really wanted to achieve today. So many of you who are interested in cars are probably going to throw stuff at your screen as soon as I turn around and show you what I plan to work on today. Because what I am going to do is the car behind me is in terrible shape. I got it to run, I think, either that or it was already running, but I'm actually going to use it for 2 different videos, and in this first video is where I'm going to use it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of key suspension elements off of it and then replace them with brand new ones, either that or fix them if I can. And we are basically going to run my race point-to-point circuit map twice. Once with the broken suspension, once with the new suspension. And now, brace yourselves so that way you don't hurl as soon as I turn around. The destroyed car. Yeah, this is supposed to be a Chevy Bel Air. For those of you who understand that this is supposed to be a very classy kind of car, you know that this is probably the worst possible condition to call a super awesome car done in, and whatnot. And what's even worse is that I managed to get new parts for like this door right here, and then I call that okay, and then like this one light is okay, but everything else is just trash. And I have no plans to renovate this at the moment. Now, if for some miraculous reason some of my viewers decide that they want to see me restore this car after I have done the Junk That Runs videos that I plan to run with it, then I will feel free to do that for y'all's entertainment. And yes, I did just say y'all's because I am a freaking Texan. Deal with it. Anyways, the engine is in poor condition, which we will address in a later video, the third video in the next few videos in the series, in which I take the car that has both the suspension elements and the engine elements, which will be the second video, and I throw it together to see if I can do better all around. In the second video, we are going to take this and we are going to drive it to both the technical circuit and the drag strip to see if we do any better at either of those. But for now, we need to get an idea about what exactly this car can do, so we are going to go to the racing track. I believe, yeah, it runs. So it'll take us right to the racing track, and I'm actually going to open my phone here, so prepare for some stupid sounds. I have my stopwatch already open, which means I don't need to fumble with that. But what we're going to do is I'm actually going to try launching this car to see if I can get, rev it up to a certain number of RPMs and see if I can get it to go around the track. This car, in terms of physics, does not really handle very well to begin with. It's not exactly a handling performance car. It's a classy car, as I said before. So here we go. Let's see. Hold down the e-brake. I'm going to call it 4,000. And there we go. That was sucky. I promise you I can drive better than this. I am a legal driver, I promise you all. So here's I don't know if that's the 5th turn or the 2nd turn or what. We're going around in kind of a U shape here. S-bend. Man, that back end just loves to sway on this car. But I promise you, once you actually get it in good handling order, it doesn't sway as much, which is really nice. But it's really throwing me off at the moment. So that needs to be fixed, but unfortunately with the way that the suspension is designed on this car, because I have taken one of these apart before in the game, and they're not exactly, they don't handle well to begin with. My Dodge Charger that we were looking at earlier handles much better, and it has the same suspension. I blame that primarily on the car's weight. I haven't looked at now I could go into the text files that make up the car data and check to see exactly what the weight of the car is versus the Dodge Charger, but I am not going to do that because, stuff. That's the best reason, stuff. Anyways, we are doing horribly. We are already almost 2 minutes in, and I'm doing so bad that I can feel the shame I have brought upon myself by the car gods. Yes, I am doing absolutely miserably in this car, and unfortunately this is not like the Rotson on Roadkill where I can just gun it in the straights. That's not how it works. So our total sum for that run was about 2 minutes. That's what we're going to call it, 2 minutes, and I didn't hit the timer as soon as I crossed the finish line, but it was about 2 minutes. So we're going to see if replacing key elements in suspension can fix that. Maybe in a later video what I'll do is I'll go ahead and replace everything from the A-arms and whatnot that allow it to do stuff like that, rubber bushings and whatnot, but for the moment I'm mostly replacing springs. Oh, and the new update came out recently that includes expert mode. So if you guys want to see me play this in expert mode, feel free to message me in some way, shape, or form saying that you would like to see this in expert mode. So we are going to put this on the right lifter because I have the Charger on the left lifter. And you guys might have noticed the color differences in the garage. Apparently if you go over here to this ladder, you can customize the garage. I did not know that, but it does require experience points, and, well, I'm stupid. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on with this. So, I did say springs. Tell you the truth, that is actually half a lie, because we're also going to pull the sway bars off this thing, too. So, let's go ahead and pull this this, and nope, not that. Not yet, anyways. Pull that off. So there's the front end link for the sway bar. Okay. Now we just need to get to the other side. No. 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 Why are you being difficult? Anyways, as soon as we get this off, I'm going to check to see exactly what kind of condition the springs are in. And, oh, and I do have to give a special thanks to my girlfriend for getting me a Steam gift card. Because, at the moment, I can now purchase, the first auto mechanic game, or car mechanic game, that has the 4th Mile DLC. The 4th Mile DLC is something I've been wanting, and apparently it's coming out for this version of the game in late December. And oh my goodness, that is awful. Interesting. So we are actually going to pull up the tablet as usual. Oh, shoot, I forgot to adjust my bank account. Well, who cares, because we're not exactly working on a budget to fix the car. We're just, now I could do that if you guys want to look at, to do that. Let's see, spring. If you guys want to, see me work on the car for a certain amount of budget, then we could definitely do that. Let's see, cap. Two of those, and shop. Okay, so we're going to go into assembly mode and drop in that double wishbone shock absorber. And cap. There we go. We are now going to find some sway bar stuff, because we're still on this side. So let's see, sway bar, I think it's B. Is it B or is it A? No, it's just A. So we're going with the regular sway bar, but I know the front end link is B. We need 2 of those. So let's go ahead and get 2 of those. Did I seriously buy 2 of them? Did I seriously buy 2 front sway bars? Oh my science, I actually did. Either that or it's from a leftover project, I don't know. And the sway bar is important because of exactly what it does for function. So that's why I'm installing that as opposed to just the springs. So it is important that we do have this on here. Let's see, double wishbone. Now the back is actually going to be less complex, so which means that the front, after we do this, is going to perform much better than the back is. For what reasons this happens, I don't actually know. The only guess I have to this is that it's just better. Now, I did say I'm only replacing springs and not rubber bushings, but I think that, you know what, for the case of this video, I'm just going to make an exception. So we're going to pull the regular shock absorber off of that. We're going to pull the U-bolts off of this. We're going to replace the U-bolts, the leaf springs, and we are going to replace let's see, the leaf spring plates and the whole 9 yards, everything. Because I bet you that'll make this thing a wicked handling machine. I could be very wrong about that. I don't actually know. Because I've never tested it before. I have tested it just replacing the springs and the shock absorbers, but I haven't done it replacing U-bolt springs and whatnot. but we can test it on the test path since I have that before we go out. And for those of you who wanna, now I don't think there are any of you out there who like to give me a lot of crap about cheating on this game, because I mean, heck, one of the most popular game channels I can think of, Jacksepticeye, cheats on Subnautica. Now, I can totally feel where he's coming from on that one. This game is actually not something that I really genuinely, let's see, I'm going to leave. This game is not something that I genuinely want to commit to in terms of normal gameplay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So the idea of being a car mechanic, I tried it for the first few, for the first several minutes of the game, and I was actually, and at the time that this was going on, I was pursuing the idea of being a car mechanic in real life, and it occurred to me that, I mean, if this is what simulated car mechanics is like, I'm not sure if I really want to pursue it as a career and all that. I mean, sure, it's very different. I understand that because it is a virtual game and all that. But, I mean, what I got the game for was to do some crazy stuff. And that's what I intend to do, primarily for y'all's entertainment. And mine, of course, but that's not important. Not right now. Because right now I'm recording this for you guys. What? No, no. Did I grab the wrong ones? Seriously? Oh my science, I just did. I grabbed the wrong ones. They're the small ones I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is why money is no issue. Besides, if it was an issue, then since I'm in normal mode, once I actually got the money, I just start building up cars and then selling them for a profit and all that. That would be amazing. I wouldn't be able to do it on a whole lot of cars, and I wouldn't be able to start collecting cars until I had 9,000 EXP, but that's not a bad deal. Okay, I think that's this side done. Let's see, so we still have, we have 2 minutes done for that first run at the technical circuit, or not circuit, point to point. So 2 minutes, and I haven't replaced anything here, and I think I'm not going to do the test path on this one because we have nothing to compare it to unless I put the old stuff back on, and the likelihood of me being able to find the old stuff is not high because I have a huge inventory, since this is supposed to be a kind of a junkyard repair type game and whatnot. You know, because, you know, I'm basing this as a virtual version of what they do on the show Roadkill. I don't see any missing parts. However, I do see some parts that could be in much better condition. Like stuff in the engine of all things. Imagine that. So, what we are going to do is we are now going to take this to, we are now going to drop this car back down, and we are going to, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Because this is also important, and I did want to do this, but I forgot to mention it. We are also going to replace the brakes. The brakes. This is something I can do in real life, guys. I've actually done brakes, like calipers and everything. So, let's see. We need... oh, we can just go here. This way is easier. So we need 2 calipers, 2 sets of brake pads, and 1 ventilated, and, no, 2 ventilated brake discs. And we could put new wheels on this thing, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, hey, that's interesting. We could put newer parts on this car, but that would kind of defeat the purpose, if you ask me. So we're just going to throw the old rims back on, because, you know, the old rims make it kind of that classy little Chevy Bel Air type style. Now, that's funny I say that, because, I mean, it's still a rust bucket of a Chevy Bel Air that I still am neglecting to completely restore. Now, again, those of you who want to see me restore it, you can request that I do this. I will do it if I get enough requests. I promise you. Heck, I'm pretty sure my girlfriend is probably going to say, "Do it! I want to see you do it!" And then I'm going to be like, "Okay, I will do it," even though it'll probably not help the fact because, you know, my girlfriend's blind, but she's an amazing person because if she could see, then she'd do half the stuff I do. So, yeah, wonderful stuff. What I think is interesting is that because the other wheels that I have are optional parts, we are actually getting the rust bucket wheels as first on the list, which I think is very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and pull these back wheels off. Now the back wheels function a little bit differently. So we're going to pull the brake drums off. Oops, I forgot. We got to pull those off first. And we have, let's see, brake drum. We need 2 of those. Drum wheel cylinder and brake shoe. Okay, and then we need to switch back to assembly mode. Okay. And in case you're wondering, yes, they do a lot of this on Roadkill where they replace the brakes. And they replace the brakes on just about everything they do every time that they use it. So I'm not actually butchering this too much. In fact, I wish I could butcher it more, to tell you the truth. That would be amazing if I could butcher it more. But from what I understand, the guys who make the game, Playway and Red Dot Games, are currently in the process of... I'm actually very surprised that this game isn't early access. It is, in fact, full game, straight out of the box, right now. Which really kind of bothers me, because they're still adding updates to it and all that as if it was early access. Okay, I think we're done. I could drop oil in it, except that we don't intend to actually... up the engine at the moment, so that means that the oil will be done when we do the engine. But anyways, back to the developers. They're doing updates on this as we speak. So like that room back there, they're planning to add the 4th Mile DLC to the game, which, as I said, is coming out in late December, which I am really looking forward to. And it's April right now, and it's like, that's like half a year. Well, it's more than half a year, which really sucks because I would love to see that come out. I want that so bad. I want it so bad, I'm about ready to go and purchase the first game where I can't own a private car collection, and it's angering me. Well, anyways, let's move this beauty over to the center and get a good look at it. Yes, that is a rust bucket of a Chevy Bel Air. Over there by my really way too nice for me Dodge Charger. So the other thing is, on the first game, and this is another reason why I want to get the first game, is they also have a used car parts area where you can get used car parts. They intend to add something like that to this game, but it won't be a DLC, it'll be a standard in-game feature, just like in the first game, which it boggles my mind why it isn't early access. It just does. So I would really love to know why this game isn't early access. I mean, I understand that the game is fully functional. I haven't run into any bugs yet. Like I said, the only problem I've had in terms of its programming is the fact that they apparently didn't sign for it properly. So Windows will let it play, but the antivirus doesn't like it. I don't know why the antivirus doesn't like it, but the antivirus often deletes its main executable, which results in me having to reinstall the game. Fortunately, I can find exactly where the saves are, and what I can do is I can just copy my save files, and what I can do is I can just resume the game, which is what I did for the last time it did it. But yeah, when the 4th Mile DLC comes out and the pick apart junkyard used car parts section comes out, then we'll be able to see me more butcher stuff and do all kinds of really cool stuff and whatnot. But until then, I might end up just getting the first game because that, and I can get Automation, which is another game I've been wanting once I get $20 from my mother, who currently owes me money. And I have $20 on my Steam account right now, which means I'll be able to get both of those games. But enough of my talking, because you probably want to see how well the car performs now that I've got all of the key suspension elements going. So here we go. I haven't replaced the tires, which probably kneecaps a lot of this, but I can feel it's better already. Can you guys tell? So apparently the engine in this car does not really like the wheel grip, because it often does that where it skids like that. So go ahead and, before I reach the finish line, go ahead and tell me in the comments exactly what you think I am going to make. You think I'm going to do a minute faster, half a minute faster? Do you think I'm going to do 30, like a whole... Just give me an estimate. I know it's probably a little late to say that, but... Ooh. Almost. That was pretty bad. Otherwise, this is handling great. This is quite good. I'm actually really happy with this. I can't wait to do the engine on it. But the good news is that with those new brakes, it stops real nicely. I would tell you how far we're into it, but that would totally ruin the surprise. Dang. It does not like that, it does not like the accelerating with those rear tires, because the rear tires keep skidding. A minute 53:65. I did about 6 or 7 seconds faster. And I think the only reason I didn't do faster was because of the skidding. And that was about it. And I don't know why the physics in that particular car do that. And it's the only one I can think of that does it. I don't know if it's the fact that it's got a V8 in it and it just doesn't really like the tires or something. I don't know. But it does that a lot. And I'm assuming that's what really held me back. So, I'm familiar with the results on the test path in a build like this, but I'm going to show you guys anyway. I know I said I wouldn't because I had nothing to compare it to, but I would like to see what it does for the rear tires, since I did a lot more replacing than I did on the last build. So we are going to move this thing over to the test path. We are going to see how exactly what kind of stuff. So this is the brakes, and the brakes should be perfect. Yeah, brakes are good. Isn't that a beautiful car? Yeah, the brakes are good. Like I said, we went and did the whole 9 yards on those. Alright, that's not nearly as good as it was last time I did a build like this, so I'm a little surprised. Ooh, that's just as bad. That's worse than the last build I did on that one. Yeah, otherwise it's fair. It's fair. I mean, I can't remember what the other car I did it on was, though. It could have been this one right here, actually, back when it was a junkyard piece of junk like this one. And I say that lovingly because I love junk. Junk that can run is amazing. Well, that was this latest episode of Junk That Runs. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would say please subscribe, but unfortunately I found out that statistically you're less likely to subscribe than if I tell you other stuff. So rather than subscribing, why don't you guys instead say hello to me? All you gotta do is leave me a comment and tell me, hello, how was your day? I enjoyed the video. And you know what? I would love to see more videos just like it. And if that's the truth, then please leave a comment like that, because that really encouraged me to make more stuff. Not that it's really going to hinder the fact that I'm not going to stop making more stuff like this, because I totally am. But it's actually going to encourage me to do it because I know that people still want to see it. If you like the over-explainedness of this whole thing, then please leave a comment telling me that you love it when I over-explain things. You know what? That reminds me. If you like Borderlands 2 and you like over-explained things, a friend of mine who has the same problem with over-explaining things also played Borderlands 2 with me one time. And guess what? That video is featured on my channel right now. You guys can go watch it for 2 hours wasted of your entire life that you will never get back unless you really enjoyed the video. You get to learn things like how bullets work in video games. Like I can't speak. Error 1009. You get to learn all kinds of things about Borderlands. You know, the lore. You know, you get to see some interesting stuff. It's just all kinds of stuff. And I do a lot of games. I'm actually level 3 on Steam just because I have so many games. Probably not that big of an achievement, but you know what? I don't have a lot of hard drive space for all the games that I want to buy, and because I keep looking through Steam queues, and then I don't want to buy any more games, and then I buy games, and then, you know, crap. So, guys, if you really want to see more videos like this, or if this becomes my most trending playlist, then, you know, let me know. I actually would love to hear suggestions about this, because this series, unfortunately, because of the lack of flexibility in Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, it is a great game. It has made it to my top 4 in the 37 hours I have played it. And not only that, but it's just lacking. There's so much this game could be, and I just want to be able to play it, to see it to become all of that. And you know what? I am going to buy Car Mechanic Simulator 2014, and I am going to do some crazy stuff, even though I know I can't keep any of those rides. But regardless, if you guys want to see me do some butchering, if you guys want to see me do something in particular, if you have any ideas, for those of you who are loyal patrons to me here and on DeviantArt, feel free to drop me a comment. I don't care how the frick you do it. It would just make my day to see that someone actually appreciates my crap. Because like I said, Thanks for not only putting up with my crap, but trying to polish it by viewing my stuff. Have a lovely day, everyone, and go waste your life somewhere else, because I've wasted it enough already.